is also huge. It was huge because we knew all along that it had happened. But now that finally Pakistan has admitted it, how significant is this? This is one airbase being hit that they didn't want to admit because of its proximity to Rawalpindi, because of its proximity to the Pakistani army headquarters. Is it now time for the world media as well, which has also been living in denial mode? We all can expect the Pakistani leadership to live in denial mode, General Katoch, but is it time for the world media also to call a spade, to report on actually what happened, who won this war, how much decimation happened within Pakistan? Is it time for that realization as well? What do you make of this admission?
Thank you, Uday. Well, let's be straight about one thing. The messaging, I think, this bombing which we carried out, I think the messaging is the important thing, It was not simply, the pinpoint accuracy that denoted very high intelligence. It was speaking the capability that we can hit any part of Pakistan, any part. That was the whole point. And not just hit it with pinpoint accuracy. So we know where you are and we can hit. I think that is really unnerved them. And once they got unnerved, they begged for peace, you can say. So they go to the Americans, they beg. The Americans tell them, we'll speak to the Indians, and the Indians tell them, why are you speaking to us? If the Pakistanis wanted, let them call us. And the Pakistanis were forced. The DGMO was forced to come and sue for peace. Now, as far as the perception management is concerned, which I think is your larger question, I'll have to admit, the Pakistanis have done a damn good job over the last 30 years in shaping this information environment. That is one thing they are pretty good at. Their ISI has been on board, and they have shaped opinions. Now, opinion is not merely shaped by speech or something. They have got their agents deep inside Western media, and they have bought them out. Simple question of, okay, a few $100,000 here, $500,000 there, and they have set, they've got their systems oiled. So those people are those fellows, when you look at the Washington Post and the New York Times, well, why should they speak the Indian language? Why should they speak the truth? Well, you can certainly speak the Pakistani language. It doesn't hurt them at all. And that is where I think now we need to get our messaging right. So now that our diplomats, the members of parliament, along with the others, are going to various parts of the world with photographic proof to say this is what happened, I hope they change their tune. Later on, even the papers like the Washington Post and the New York Times and certain British tabloids, they changed their tune. They admitted that, okay, the Indians have hit them and the Pakis couldn't do anything much. But within Pakistan, I don't think the public still thinks they won a great victory. Or if they feel that is a victory, may they be blessed with many such victories over the years to come. Because ultimately, they've got nothing left. They were, in this particular operation, Uday, believe you me, they were actually, they were like that king without his clothes, the emperor without his clothes, and they stark their, what is the word to use, their sheer helplessness, that's the word I use, was displayed to the world. They had to come for peace, because if it had carried on for the third night, I don't know what would have happened. India made it, there's as a piece of information over there, after we carried out the first bit of strikes, against the terrorist targets, our DGMO actually told those fellows, their DGMO, we have done this, we are not going to go further. Now, but he also told them that if you chaps retaliate, then we are going to go much, much more. So they retaliated, and then you know how we hit them. And then they retaliated again, and then we hit them all the air bases. And then they realized they can't do it anymore. That is why they sued for peace. And if they had not taken part in the first retaliation, we wouldn't have hit them on the first night itself. On the second night itself, we wouldn't have done that. So the Indian aim was all the time very clear to seize the escalation, but the escalation had to cease on Indian terms. I think that message has gone to the Pakistani leadership. I really don't know how it's going to play out now, but the empty threats which now Shehbaz Sharif is giving, I'm afraid it doesn't work. There's just one more point, which Wing Commander Sudhakaran gave, and he spoke about those terrorists whom we, the Hafiz Saeed and all those chappies there. I think it goes even one step above them. Those chaps we need to get. He's very right. I think the three major culprits in this whole thing is the DGISI, the General Malik fellow.
Yes.
It is the Chief of Army Staff, and it is the Prime Minister. And I think they are directly complicit in what happened in Pahalgam, and they must be booked for it. Uday.
Okay. Let me in fact quickly also rope in Ambassador Manju Seth. Ambassador Manju Seth also, another